jar of love.
All right. Okay. So very good morning to everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Cool. Good. Okay. So first of all, I think very good morning to all my colleagues. Okay, and to whoever is on the line for attending this create webinar on unleashing creativity from education to beyond. So I am your uh, speaker for today. Sorry, there was there. Okay, so let's start the whole thing. So let me introduce myself. My name is Engineer Dr. Chua and currently I am a Mechanical Engineering Department Senior Lecturer, and I'm now in the Center of Academic Advancement and Flexible Learning, or CAFL. I'm the coordinator for professional development, and I'm delivering this topic out of my own interests and for sharing knowledge about creativity. Okay, so a little bit about myself, my profile. Okay, so I have my Bachelor of Engineering from the University Putra Malaysia, UPM, and I conducted or completed my Masters of Engineering Science from University of Sheffield, and I did my PhD in UPSI, or Sultan Idris Education University. Currently, I'm a senior lecturer uh, inside the mechanical engineering department, and I am now a coordinator for professional development in CAFL. I hold the position of the advisor for STEM promotion subcommittee of engineering education technical division, the Institution of Engineers Malaysia. I am also the member of Engineering Education and Skills Strategy Board with the IMechE UK, Institution of Mechanical Engineers UK. I am also currently technical chair for the Southeast Asia Association of Institutional Research, where this association do a lot of research on education, especially in higher education and also institutional research. I have a lot more, but I think this is just enough for my particular profile for this morning. So let's move on to our topic for today. Okay, so uh, probably throughout everybody's journey in this world, we have heard a lot of things about creativity, what is creativity all about, and then there is a lot of misconception about creativity. Okay, the first thing I want to make things clear today is about the myths. Okay, the myths about creativity, especially in the education world or in education. So a lot of times when I talk to parents or teachers or even educators, the first thing that they talk about creativity is that creativity is born and they are not made of. That means the children or the students, they have creativity born with them. Okay, that is the first myth. And then the creativity is actually all in the mind of that particular person. Okay, and it is only available in arts. That means in drawing, in sketches, in whatever, in anything to do with arts. And only intelligent people, that means those with high EQ, high IQ, they have creativity. Common people like us, we don't have creativity. Now, another very, very wrong perception or myths about creativity in education, or actually in creativity in general, is that creativity cannot be taught. It cannot be learned, cannot be acquired, or it cannot be measured. No, this is very, very wrong. Creativity can be taught, it can be acquired, it can be practiced, it can be measured. A lot of research has been done. A lot of researchers has come up with this conclusion that it can be taught, it can be acquired, and we can measure those things. Okay, so this is just to debunk quite a number of myths about creativity. Okay, next. Why do we need creativity? Okay, why is creativity there? Why is it important? Now, there are a lot of developing countries like Malaysia, we are moving away from production-based economy to knowledge-based economy. And because of this movement, we are going towards that. Okay, we are in need of highly skilled, creative, and innovative problem solvers. That's why I'm not sure about other colleges or other schools, especially in the engineering. Okay, we are talking about problem solving, complex problem solvings. To do that, we need a lot of skills, we need a lot of creativity and innovations. That's another thing, creativity and innovations. A lot of people have the wrong perception that thinking that creativity is innovations. They are two different things. They are two different things. And sadly, many students around the world, okay, are not well equipped with these industry-focused soft skills such as creativity, critical thinking, creative thinking, design thinking. They are not taught. They are not equipped with all this kind of soft skills. Okay, so this is why creativity is needed. Now, I'm just sharing here with one of the articles that actually from 2006 by this guy, Kastner, are talking about our graduates, the critical survival skills of the graduates, be it any field, okay? Are they ready to work in the 21st century? They have a common basic skills, and this is the applied skills. So this is what I got from the article that was written. And if you look at it, these are quite a lot of applied skills like critical thinking or problem solving, communications. If you look at I'm coming from the engineering background. So we are talking about oral presentations, written presentations, teamwork, collaborations, diversities, creativity or innovations, lifelong learning. These are some of the very, very important skills, okay, that is required by our graduates in the 21st century to make them ready for work. Okay, so it is one of the few important skills considered as the applied skills. Okay, so education right now, okay, since I'm from the engineering, so let me share. So many of the core engineering subjects, such as engineering designs, are highly related to creativity. So if you look at some of the universities, they actually look at creative industries. So creative industries doesn't just only look into multimedias like graphic designs or multimedia designs. Engineering is also one of those creative industry because we are coming up with creative solutions. We are coming up with innovative solutions, okay, to solve the human society problems, to improve the human populations through engineering, all these things. So it is engineering. It is one of those creative industries. And we have a lot of those subjects or modules that are highly related to creativity. Sadly, unfortunately, the educational systems around the world, including Malaysia, has not emphasized enough on creativity. We do not have a lot of universities offering, like what UNITEN has something to call the creative thinking. Yes, UNITEN has one of the 3 to 4 universities in Malaysia that actually offered creativity or creative thinking. Another one that I know is UTM. One of the faculty is offering creativity or creative thinking as a module in their first year of engineering studies. And University Technology Cebu is offering creativity or creative thinking in their engineering program as one of the core subjects that they need to undertake, and they really emphasize on creativity. Other universities, they don't really offer these subjects, okay, or teach the students about creativity, innovations, creative thinking, or all these kind of things. So it is not just only in Malaysia, but all around the world. This is a global problem. Okay, so I already shared with you about what creativity, the myths are, and then what is the wrong perceptions about the creativity. So let me come to define what creativity is. Okay. So in those days when I grew up, okay, when I was still a school kid, 30 years ago, about 40 years ago. So my teachers always tell me, creativity, you are born with it or you don't have it. So is it considered as a gift, a talent to a selected field? Those days in the 70s or in the 80s. Then as I grew up, when I went into the uni, then it was defined, okay, a thought, a thinking to be thinking out of the box, thought to be a novel thinking. Slowly, the definition has migrated or changed. And recently, now it is a skill. Creativity is defined as a skill to combine and relate ideas in new approaches that is both practical and novel. Novel means that it is new. Nobody has done it before, and it is practical and it is usable, practical to the society. So this is one of the definitions of creativity. Okay, uh, right. So creativity over the years, I think there was a lot of research done, I think in the past 100 years or so. Okay, so there were a lot of theories, there were a lot of ideas about creativity. What's creativity all about? What are the characteristics of creativity? What are things that you look into as a creativity? So there were too many. So in 1961, there is this guy, actually is a, if I'm not mistaken, is a female researcher, wrote, she actually categorized creativity, the characteristics into four main categories, and it is known as the 4 Ps or the 4 pillars of creativity. So what are these uh, categories of creativity? So the first thing is what we call as a creative process. Creative process, so as the word tells you, it is a process. Okay, so from the engineering point of view, from the engineering, okay, we are talking about a process that is being creative. And one of the creative process that is being stand out is by Paul Torrance. Paul Torrance is the very famous creativity researcher, and he developed and copyrighted something that we call as the creative thinking TTCT, Torrance Test of Creative Thinking, TTCT. This is a worldwide inventory to test whether a person has a creative mind or not. It is a process. So this process can be physical, it can be somewhere in your mind. And this creative process is something that we in the engineering or maybe in the computer science, in the technologies, they actually study this one. So to put it in a nutshell, so maybe I will talk about this creative process in, if I have the time to deliver another session about what this creative process is in details. So it has creative process. One of the things that you see is creative thinking in your brain, that what are the things that you learn and then process. And then in engineering, we have something called the innovation value chain, IVC. So in engineering design process, this is very, very related. So we talk about the problem identification phase. We talk about the ideation or idea generation phase. We talk about the idea implementation phase, and we talk about the idea championing or the idea promotion phase. So for those who are doing the FYP projects or capstones project, you will definitely know something about this in your projects. You need to identify the problem, which is your project objective or all these things, problem statements, all these things. That is problem identification. Then your ideations, how are you going to solve your problem? What is the solutions? You come up with a lot of ideas, you come up with a lot of potential solutions, ideations. Then you implement it. You come up with all the potential solutions already. Then you choose the best, and then you run those experiments, and then you come up with the conclusion, your discussion, everything. and then you present it, you promote it. So this is the solution. This is my proposed solutions, and this is the benefit. This is the pros. This is the cons. So that is a process. So from there, you can come up with good ideas or all these things. So in your FIP research project, or even in your industrial project or your research project, that is a creative process. Creative elements are inside there. So that is one of the category. So I can organize another webinar in future about what is this process, creative process, all about. Now, the second would be a person, creative person. So here we talk about the personality of a person. How do you know that person is creative? Okay, it may be somebody who is willing, later you will see, who is willing to take the risk, okay, to make changes, okay, someone who is do accept changes, someone who is able to accept failures, and someone who is about to, who is able to take other person perspective into their own, what do you call that, the uh, improvement. So he's motivated, he's a risk taker, he's willing to come out from the comfort zone, things like that. There are quite a number of personal traits regarding this in terms of the creativity of a person. Then the third, press. Now, the word press doesn't tell you that it is a stress, it is a pressure, or all these things. This term is used to actually to tell you that this is the impact of the environment, the society, or the surrounding, the working environment of that particular person. So for people, some people, they like to work when they are near the nature. They like to work when they perform best with some people. Like one of my friend, he can work when he's listening to heavy metal musics. Some people like to work when they are take a day off, and then they go into somewhere near the nature, and then they can really work. Some people, they can actually work when they are listening to maybe guitarro music, or those are so what do you call it, philharmonic musics, things like that. So the environment, okay, and also situations like where you need to go to see the actual environment, the actual site of where the things required. Okay. Hello, can you see me? Because just now my Wi-Fi got disconnected, the Uniten Wi-Fi.
Yes, yes. Okay, doctor.
Okay, all right. So can I continue? Can I? Okay, so press is about the input or the impact or the environmental factor of the person or the designer who is actually working on that particular project. So out of this, if you look at the arrow, the creative process, the personality, whether he or she is motivated or willing to take the risk, and then the environmental factor, the last one is the output. Then you will come up with a very creative product. So this product can be a physical, can be a non-physical, can be something that you like a solution, can be an SOP, can be a product that meets this requirement, so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the 4 Ps. That's why they call the 4 Ps of creativity. Okay, as defined by this Roth in 1961. So she has conducted a very thorough research on the research about creativity. What are the types of theory, the definitions of creativity? Okay, so far until here, any questions before I proceed? Okay, so I assume there's none. Okay, so the next part here is barriers of creativity in educations. So in terms of educations, there are quite a number of barriers when we want to talk about creativity. Okay, the definition, the first one is, do we have a proper definitions in the curriculum and also in the documentations? Apparently, we do not have, okay, in many situations. What is creativity in education? We do not, a lot of the lecturers or a lot of our educators are not understanding the creativity, the creative things in clear. They don't know what is creativity. They always mixed up creativity and innovations. They are two different things. They are two different things. There's only one thing common between innovations and creativity. And then the second thing is school environment, the school climates. Is our school or is our engineering faculty or the CCI faculty climate supports creative thinking, supports creative educations? Do we support that? A lot of university, a lot of teachers, even in the primary schools or secondary schools, are still practicing spoon feeding kind of educations. We are having that kind of problem, spoon feeding. And the third thing is professional learning, because here in Malaysia and around the world, we have a lot of people, a lot of researchers already stressed that there is a lot of misconceptions, misunderstanding, and there was no professional learning available for our educators, our teachers to know about what is creativity all about. And a lot of times, this is another one, the number 4, not believing in your own creativity. Not believing in. Do I have creativity in my own? Now, creativity doesn't have to be something that is big. It can be a small. Okay, if you further look into the definitions of creativity, there are category in terms of big creativity and small creativity. We can actually look into developing small creativity, small creative improvement every day. There's a lot of things that you can do, small one. Okay, we are not Pablo Picasso. We come up with a very creative art. No. We don't expect you to be that. But there are a lot of opportunities for us to come up with your own creativity. And we implement creativity practically. Okay, all right. This is another thing that we do not have that practicality. Okay, it's the way of actually trying to put creativity into real life. Okay, into real life and how you can achieve something out of it. Okay, so these are some of the barriers that we have right now in Malaysia. Why is creativity in education important? Where are the importance coming from? So in the first thing that we need to know is that we are trying to enhance the learning process inside the classroom and outside the classrooms. Okay, we want to enhance the learning because we are educators. Okay, inside the classroom, education. So we need to look into this one. We cannot just teach everything from the book. Some theories, yes, but then we have to use creativity to make sure that the students can actually link to actual real life. So for example, I once taught thermodynamics, this subject before, and rather than just talk about the different cycles, different this process, I took the opportunity to bring my students to go to those AHU air handling unit. I bring them inside and explain to them, this is this part, what is this process, so that they can actually see, oh, you learn this cycle, this is this component, this is this particular component, this is the compressor, this is the condenser, they can see for themselves. This is where, in theory, this is this part, this is this part, this is this part, what is the function of this one, and they enjoy this, even though it's just a short half an hour visit to a AHU unit. Open up the form, the AHU unit, the students come in by groups. Oh, this is this part, this is this part, they enjoy that one. okay, out of to enhance the student learning rather than just everything inside the classroom. Okay, goes beyond the traditional book learnings. Okay, then you can actually foster innovations. To get innovations, you will need creativity. Without creativity, there is no innovation. That is the truth. But bear in mind, creativity and innovations, they are two different things. Two different things. Okay? Right. So by having creativity in your education, students starts to think out of the box. They starts to reach out and then start to come out from their comfort zone and they start to venture into the unknown area. And the moment they go into unknown area, that is innovations. They start to look into things differently. They start to look into products or solutions from a different perspective. Okay, so they will start to look at things differently already. And the last one is, as I mentioned just now, beyond the classroom. You have to start revolutionizing education that actually look beyond the classrooms. We are just too focused inside the classroom. We have to somehow, the new generations, you ask them to stay in the classroom for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, they may be bored, they may find these things bored, but then you have to start looking into like blended learning or project-based learning. All these things can be part of your creativity in education, and how you implement it, how you practically do it, that is up to your creative thinking really. Okay, how do we foster creativity in the school environment? Go beyond your traditional method. To a certain extent, yes, books, textbooks, tutorials, they may, how to say, provide the basic fundamentals. But when you go beyond that, you want the students to acquire the soft skills, you have to go beyond those textbooks. Ask them to do things. So I will give you one example what I did this semester. Okay, so I'm teaching integrated design project where the grouping has to be done at the initial state of the semester, the first 2 weeks of the semesters. So all before this, we do like, okay, you randomly pick the students or you lucky draw or you ask them to form their own group. This has been complained for many, many semesters. So suddenly I have a group of 4, let's say group of 5 free riders. Free riders, I have 5 group members, none of them can work, all this. So this is one thing that is totally being bad practice. So this is one of the problems. So this semester, I was thinking, how can I improve on the grouping process? Go beyond that and then make sure that it is beneficial for the students. So just sharing, it's up to you whether you want to try out this one with you. So what I did this semester was, at the initial first or second week, so the grouping was done this way. So I offered the students who would be the group leader or the project leader to come forward. I need, let's say, out of 50 students, let's say. So I will need 10 groups, 10 group leaders. Okay. Those who are volunteer, you will have some perks, some advantage to you. Okay. So the advantage, I tell them, okay, as a group leader, project leader, you have a choice to form a team of 5, including yourself, team members. So you have the choice to choose 2 of your friends. 2. Okay, so he or she, to a group leader, will choose his or her friends. So now I explain to the group leader and the group. Now, out of a group of 5, you now have the control of 60% human resource. That means 5 team members, the 3 of you definitely can work together. You do not have any problem about, I have 5 team members, but 4 of them are 4 free riders or not actually working. So that is the situation. Now you have 3 of you can work together. Definitely you're good buddies, ma. Okay, so definitely you can have no problem in terms of the human resource, 60% out of 100. So the remaining 2, that means the remaining 20, that means 50, that means about 20, is yet to be decided which group. So I instructed the remaining 20 students to prepare a CV, a short one-page resume. I detailing out where is your strong point, something like you're applying for a job lah. You're applying for a job and then you submit, and then you will be interviewed by these 10 group leaders. Okay, so these 10 group leaders, they have to go and look into their group. Okay, my member is group. I have a group engineering design. I have a design engineer. I have a good secretary already. I need someone who can actually do this. So during the interview, okay, they will look for what they need. Okay, this is the criteria. This is the strength. This is the characteristic. This is. So they will be interviewing all the 20 candidates, and then their scores will be given for each and every one of the characteristics. Of course, after that, I will compile all the scores and then let all the group leader to have a meeting. So group leaders, here you are. This is the 20 candidates that you actually interviewed. So for each candidate, they have about 10 minutes. So 20 candidates is about 200. So which is about 3 to 4 hours, half a day, like either morning or in the afternoon. So they will have to sit down. I will cover up all the candidates' names. These are the characteristics. These are the scores. So you have to pick who do you think best, the number 4 person, best fit into your group. So they will choose this. Of course, the last 10, they will choose that. I know all these last 10. Some of the group leaders says, I know all these last 10. These are all the troublemakers, the free riders, or all these things who will have trouble working with. But then they decide, okay, we already have 3 person in the group which we can actually work. The 4th person is someone we choose, okay? And I'm sure that this is the one that we wanted based on the characteristics that they have, and we can work with. The last one, we know that every one of the team have a troublemaker, have free riders. Everyone is fair. So they like this idea. So this is the best group. Okay, I asked them some of the things that whether they want this this grouping method to stay or not. They said that, so this is so far the best group method that we have seen, and it really targeted what we wanted in our group. These were some of the comments they give to me. And this is something beyond the traditional grouping method. So they like these grouping methods and they really can work in the group, no longer like they complain about free riders. No, because they know everybody has a group of the equal. Every group is equal already. Okay, so this is something that is beyond traditional. You have to think. So they can work well in a group already. Something that is creative. Okay, it's up to the lecturers to decide or educators to decide whether this one works or not, and then the students whether they will accept or not. From my feedback from the students, they like this one. This semester, this is something that I try out, and they really like, and they find that this is very fair, and this is something that very they say that this is quite professional in the way that they actually, those who are in the group leader, they know that, or being an interviewer, this is the thing that I look for. Those who are being interviewed, this is what I need to prepare for. It open up their minds and start to think differently. So this is beyond traditional methods in a classroom environment where they start to look into the projects, okay, working as a group. All right, so from there, once you have, let's say, as I mentioned just now, create an environment that encourages exploration and innovations, it indirectly or sometimes directly empowered our youth. Okay, it empowered the youth, the younger generations to really look into and go beyond their ability. Okay, all right. So this is something that I think students will definitely like. They feel empowered. Now I have a group of 60% I can actually work. And if I'm lucky, the 4th person can actually work. 80% of the team can work. The only problem with the last person, whether is he going to stick to us or is he going to go as solo and then doesn't really want to work. So the 4 or hopefully the 5 of them can work. And based on what I have this semester, no problem. Even the 5th one, they know that it's a problem maker, but then they can actually work right now. Okay, so they already identify this is problem maker. They know how to tackle. They know how to actually make sure that this guy can or this girl can actually come and work. Okay, so they empower the younger generations to think how really, because they know upfront, I have this problem, I can actually tackle this problem. And from that, you see my method, okay, it is another different type of leadership development. Remember just now I said that the group leader, you will have from the very start, you have a 60% control of your human resources. It is now how you develop your leadership to get the fourth and the fifth member to really work and actually merge with the teams and work as a whole team. Okay, so that is a leadership development as a teamwork, and it actually helps. So far this semester when I done it, very good effect. The effect is very good, and then the teamwork is really there. I can see that. So how to overcome the barriers to creativity? Okay, so overcoming barriers to creativity involving innovation and change. The word here is change. Okay, change. Okay, there is a quote that says that if we continue to practice the same thing, we continue to do the same thing and expect a different outcome, that is called insanity. So we need to embrace changes. We need to make changes what we do. Whatever that we want to achieve, okay, if you continue to 1 + 1 and you expect equals to 2, expect 1 + 1 is equals to 3, when you know that 1 + 1, it won't be equal to 3. Okay, so we need to make changes. We need to embrace changes. That's why you must be willing to take the risk. There was a lot of time when in Prof. Karim's talk, I ask about questions. When we do changes and then the feedback that we get is sometimes very disappointing because the changes was not accepted by the students. They were not welcomed by the students. That is something that we need to accept, okay, to challenge the status quo and explore new approaches. It may not work, it may work, we don't know. Okay, cultivating a supportive environment. Yes. Do we support our staff? Do we support our colleagues? Do we support our peers? Do we support our environment, our students? We need that, okay? Supportive environment, as I mentioned just now. Sorry, my internet went again. Okay, so let me continue. So cultivating a supportive environment. I think for Unit 10, we have to support this kind of environment that actually encourages the staff to make changes. Okay, don't be afraid of making changes. All right. And empowering individuals like lecturers, individuals like the students, or even the technical staff or non-technical staff, the executing staff. We must not resist changes. Okay, start having the kind of thinking that we need to change. Okay, from here. Okay, creative ideas. Take ownership of their creative ideas by pursuing innovative solutions. Think of different solutions. Try out. That's why it's important to take risk, take changes. Sorry, my internet, I don't know what happened here. Okay, so breaking through, so embracing failure. So there will be a lot of
Teacher,
times.
the slides I cannot see.
Oh, the
Is it
slides.
me?
Okay, sorry. Because the internet is just keep dropping out.
Okay, now okay. Thanks.
Okay, good. All right. So one of the key things about creativity is we need to start embracing failures. Okay, so I do have some failures before, in terms of my student feedbacks. Okay, when I start doing some changes, student don't like this one, student don't like that one. Okay, yes, honestly, that's why I asked a lot of questions to Prof. Karim. Why like that? Why like that? Okay, it's essential part of the creative process. Your method may not be the best, but you just have to try out again and again and again. Just look at failure as a learning opportunity. Okay, it's a learning opportunity. Okay, individuals can overcome the fear of taking creative risks. After you have failed a few times, just like Thomas Edison when he discovered the light bulb, there are so many times he failed. Okay, so think positively. It's just a learning process. Okay, right. Curiosity. Next thing is curiosity. There is a saying that curiosity kills the cat. No, 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 no. We are not being killed, okay? But encouraging curiosities and a growth mindset can actually help you to break through the mental block. Sometimes you have all the things, how am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to encourage yourself to think out of the box and curiosities, okay? And curiosity is the one that actually fuels creativity, to ask questions, to seek innovative solutions, and diversity of perspective. Okay, diverse. That means look, sometimes I find this one quite useful for me also, you know. Sometimes I ask my students, sometimes I really go down to the students' level, sit with them. Hey, can you tell me what is a good thing about this? Okay, I used to do this. I call this one as 3S. I actually wanted to deliver this one. Okay, 3S. I ask the perspective from the students. Start, stop, and stay. I ask the students sometimes, can you tell me in my lecture, in my class, which thing that you think that should stop? That means this is not a good practice for you all. For the, let's say, half the semester gone, next half of the semester, next 7 weeks, do you think that I should stop this or I should not do this? Then you tell me. Then start something that you think that, okay, I haven't done this one. Can you tell me I should do this? For example, I should, let's say, okay, I should do like, okay, group meeting, okay, regular meeting with the students, or only when you are interested to come and find me, things like that. Or stay, something that I think that I started this semester and you think that this is a good one and you should continue with this one. Get the perspective from the students or even from the lecturers. Maybe not from Unit 10. Unit 10 maybe is homogeneous for everybody. If you can actually go to other universities, actually maybe other colleges or your peers from other university, what have they done to make their classes more interesting? Students come and enjoy their class. Diversity of perspective. Ask them when you have the chance to actually really go and talk to whether your peers or your superiors or your, what do you call that, the students. It is actually, the exposure here is very, very good, and they will actually lead to novel ideas and some breakthrough. Okay, right, next. Now with creativity, okay, as I mentioned, creativity and innovation. Now there, let me just give a quick glance about innovation. So innovation, there's one of the definition by the Oslo Manual 2018 or 2019. This is Oslo Manual about innovation. 3 important characteristics. The first thing is it must be novel. Novel here, this is the thing that is actually linked to creativity. So it is the creativity that actually feels or actually fits towards innovation. Without this novelty, without this creativity, you won't have innovations. But apart from the creativity, apart from the novelty, there are two more criteria of innovations. One of it, it must be marketable. Okay. In my next series, I will talk about more about innovation. It must be marketable. Okay. If your creativity, your novelty, you may have the patent, you may have this thing, but it is not commercializable. It cannot be commercialized. It's useless. It's totally useless. It's not innovation. Okay. It's not innovation. So creativity is one of the criteria for innovation. That is very, very important. And just now I mentioned it empowers the youth. It drives the, let's say, leadership development. Definitely with that, it's going to empower your employees. And sharing a lot of case studies around the world, like the Dyson case, James Dyson case, how it actually worked, all these things, even a lot of case studies about creativity, about creative approaches to real world challenges, it's going to help. Okay, it's going to help people. Embracing creativity in business, okay, cultivating a creative culture, as I mentioned, the environment, okay, the thinking, innovation and adaptability, okay, adaptability is very important. You must be able to adapt to changes. As I mentioned, changes is very important. You cannot be practicing that thing that you had done for so long. This is what happened to Nokia, okay. Global impact. Your creativity is going to help you to say globally in terms of your impact, in terms of your businesses. Okay, all right. Leaderships. Okay, we're running out of time. So leadership development, as I mentioned, the youth is the future leader. The moment they start to actually take up the leaderships and they start to change, they start to think out of the box, they start to come out, then they will inspire the new changes around the working environment, the people around them. And with that, okay, it indirectly, okay, will help in terms of the sustainable growth. Now, this sustainable growth doesn't mean that it's sustainable development but then your company, your businesses can be sustained. Okay, you will have continuous people coming in, continuous expertise, continuous expert coming into your companies and things like that. Okay, steering the organizations towards a future of sustainable success. That means your business is sustainable. It's very, very important for all these things. Okay, so I think, yeah, just in time. Thank you so much for your attention for this particular session. So just a few minutes left, so I would like to open the floor for questions. Any questions from the floor?
Hi, Dr. Chua.
Yes.
Sohaila here.
Yeah.
And when you were saying about the groupings, you have changed the method of selection students for students. Do you see any improvement in terms of the grading?
Yes, this semester, surprisingly, before that, I will have C students, C plus or C. This semester, I don't have any C students. A and B, B plus, B, A and B only.
I
surprisingly.
see. So generally, everything went up, all the marks went up.
Okay, even the so-called the one that they identified, this is definitely a free rider.
Yeah,
the free rider.
riders.
Yes, the 2 or 3 free riders. Surprisingly, the free
put in
rider
effort,
gets a B.
I see. So
They
basically, they put in
totally
effort
don't want these
also.
students, but then throughout, hey, this guy, somehow the group already accepted, okay, like we know this guy is a free rider. We don't want to give him so much trouble. We reduce the load. We know that this guy, okay, so if he do this, we are able to take this. So they know how to tackle, how to, the 4 of them, okay, they can work. This one, we know that this one, the moment you give him stress, he will just jabut like that. So they somehow they reduce.
They can accommodate him also lah.
Yes, they can
pace lah.
accommodate him. They expected this guy to do okay a little best, and then they start to work as a better team already.
All right, thank you, Dr. Chua.
So this is something that actually I didn't expect this. I was expecting the free riders maybe still get a C or a C plus, but then B. This is something that was like, okay, very, very unexpected.
Thank you, Dr. Chua. This is Puyi here.
Yeah.
But then those free rider that you mentioned, not sure whether it's free rider or not a free rider. Don't you think that the factors helping them to increase because others are doing more than them? So have we actually solved the real problem of them not really contributing?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is one thing that, okay, they already identify, okay, in terms of the task allocation, so they know that this guy or this girl, he cannot be stressed. The moment he's stressed, he will go disappear, or he doesn't want to contribute, or doesn't want to come to the meeting. So they already discussed with him, what can you do? What can you contribute? We don't want to stress you out. We don't want to, okay? So they really go and talk to the person first. When they have their first meeting, we know that, okay, we got you already, but you have to tell us, okay, what can you do that you think that is suitable at your level, that you don't feel stressed, you don't feel like we are putting a lot of pressure on you. So you tell us, you come to us upfront, and then you tell us, and then we try to negotiate, and then this is what you do. If you do not do it, we are going to, I say, leave you out of the meeting, the report. You won't get a single point from there. And then make sure that they have to come up. And then I ask them, can you come up with a group, what do you call that? A group, what to say, a group agreement.
Report, is it? Oh, okay.
Group agreement that everybody sign. Okay, I agree to attend the meeting how many times, I agree to. So they have to discuss already. Okay, a group agreement. Everybody agree, okay, I'm going to contribute in this part, I'm going to contribute in this part, this is a meeting, and they sit down and they discuss, including the problem maker. So
Okay.
at the start, they already have something like, okay, this is the thing, this is the one, this is the thing.
Okay, thank you. But I feel that this strategy of forming a groups, maybe it helps in the reduce work group conflict and also encouraging teamwork.
Yes.
But not very sure if this really help those who are weak to become better.
As I said, is for me, it's just another try and error lah.
Yeah.
Willing to take
Thank
the
you,
risk.
thank
I
you.
don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe in future, I need to start to look into like measuring in terms of their peer review. I look into their peer review as well. Okay, so the free riders, they still get a little bit less compared to those who are actually not like last time totally. The peer review, the scores is between 1 to 5. The peer review, those free riders, they will just get the lowest scores, They will just get the lowest score. But now for those problem makers, somewhere around 3, 3 pointers, from 1 to 5, those who are actually good one, I say that don't give everybody 5, because it's not ethical to give everybody everything's 5. But then you look at the contributions. Okay, so the free riders or the problem makers in those days before I started this one, they get 1.5 in average, very low. But now they have about in between the range of 3, 3.1 or 2.9. That means they really look into the other team member. They really look, okay, we want to make sure that he actually contribute to the work. He actually contribute at least part of the work, and we will give him the right amount of scores. If he contributed more, then we will give him more, something like that.
Thank you, Dr. Chua. One last
Mm.
question.
Yes.
How long does it take for them to form a group? Because you have the interviewing session.
1 day. Actually, actually 2 days. The first day is to select the group leader, and then the other 2 remaining very fast. And then, as I mentioned, there's about another 20 students. So they have to prepare. I give them 1 week to prepare their CV and upload into the Microsoft Teams. Okay, our group teams, and then the students will have, the group leader will have access to their CV. Okay, they have the access to their CV, and then I arrange either the whole morning or the whole afternoon, where it will take about 3 hours plus to 4 hours for them to do interview with break, 1 or 2 breaks in between. So the students, they will come during their free time, and then the group leader, if the group leader is not having a class, so he will assign his another teammate to come and do the interview. So it will be a continuous of 4 hours like that. Once the scores are all finish, all the interviews are finished. So I will tabulate, and then at the end of that, they will choose. So just, you only interview 20 people. You don't interview 50. You only interview 20 people. Either you want to do it in 1 day or you want to do it in 2 days. It's also can. So for me, I do it one afternoon, in one of the afternoons, 4 hours, and then they discuss, and I want these 2 students settled.
Okay, thank you very much for the great suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just one day. That's it. Okay. 3S. Start, stop, stay. Start is something that you, the student say, sir, I think this is something that you can start off. Okay, you can do this. Like for example, this semester, because when I was giving the instructions of the requirement, because they have to submit 2 reports. Middle of the semester, the progress report, and end of the semester, interim report. So they were telling, sir, start this. You don't give the requirement for the progress report and the interim report at the same time. You tell us when roughly 1 or 2 weeks before the submission date for the progress report. You don't tell us the interim report. You only tell us the interim report towards the end of the semester. Okay, so that's what I did lah. So because before that, I do it together because I don't want to miss. So they asked me to start that. Stop. Something that I did not, I have done. Okay, so far, stop, like, okay lah. This is the one that they asked me to, one of them say start this way, another one say stop doing it together. Okay, stay. They wanted stay is the grouping style. They like this grouping style. Every group, they say that this is very fair. Okay. Right. So they like this one. Okay. So this is something that I actually try out lah. Okay, so Dr. Chua got quite okay. In my class, I let my students choose their own group members and manage or organize themselves. They learn to own up. I tried this one also. I tried this one, but I have the problem, as I mentioned, okay, there will be a few students who will come in late. I have cases where students join halfway through the semester, week 4, week 5, or even week 6, and they don't have a group. And when I ask them to join to any one of the group totally cannot accept. They don't want it. None of the group want to accept this kind of situations. So I have no choice. Okay, so this is the situations lah. Okay. Okay. So you can go and try and test out the grouping method that I tried. You can maybe make modifications, or even if you want to try the start, stop, stay, the 3S, I do it during the mid of the semester, because so that I look at the comment given by my students. If you look at it, these are some of the comments from the one gray, yellow color is start. This is stay. And this is the red color stop. So I asked them to write down. Then I will look at it, and then of course I won't be able to implement every one of them. So I will see which one I can implement and they like it, which one they prefer it. Yes. So it's something that you can actually do. Okay. All right. Okay. I think it's 11:05 already. Any other questions? Okay. If none, thank you so much for attending this particular session. So there is this evaluation form. I hope that you can fill up your evaluation form for this particular session. And also, please make sure that you fill up the attendance form also. Okay. So thank you so much for coming. Hopefully I can have the next session to share with you about the creative process, the creative person, what is innovations, so that you have an idea of what all these things is. Thank you, and have a nice day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Chua.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Doctor.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome